Hi everybody, welcome to part 2 of Write Your Own Escape Room. I hope you had an amazing time figuring out the best premise for your room. Today, we're going to fill in the details and craft your mystery. So, let's say you've decided to have your audience solve the decades-old mystery of the disappearance of a nun. The inciting event is the nun's disappearance, and the conclusion is the answer to why she disappeared. Again, all you need is a pen and a piece of paper, or computer. In order to decide which clues to use, which we will do in the next step, you will need to write the whole story, either physically or mentally. I often just jot down thoughts and I don't write the whole thing start to finish until the final clue when I bring my audience in on everything that's happened. But you may find it easier just to write the whole thing down. Don't freak out. All you really have to have is a basic background and a logical solution. That's it. So start with the background of your main character or premise. In the case of our nun, why is she a nun? How old is she? How long has she been a nun? What convent is she at, and where is that? Background becomes important in our next step when we start to craft the clues. These clues will create a cohesive world for your audience to enter into. If the main character is from New York City, a box of matches from Phoenix is out of place and may signal that there's a clue. If it is supposed to be 1903, airline tickets are simply not going to make any sense. Of course, unless you're doing something with time travel. Try not to stress about getting your backstory perfect. As you put clues together, you can always add or change information as you need to. This is just a jumping off point. But once you have all your basics laid out, it's time to write the solution to your story. The solution is the answer to your pivotal question. In our example, why did our nun disappear? She could have A, run off to do something nuns can't do, like get married, attend college, have a career, go find adventure. She could have B, been murdered, kidnapped, recruited, or become pregnant. Or C, if it wasn't her idea to be a nun, maybe she's hiding from the mob, in witness protection, running away from her family, or changing religions. So, our nun, at least in my imagination, is a 19-year-old Russian Orthodox woman. She became a nun at the insistence of her parents because she got pregnant in 1913. She disappeared from her quarters at the convent of St. Elizabeth in September of 1914 and was never heard from again. The local police still have a file and the investigation is still technically open. Newspapers speculated widely, but nothing was ever solved. Enter your audience. Thus, the escape room is her quarters, and the file from the police may be locked in a secure briefcase or scattered throughout the room in different locked containers. As an aside, it is often a lot easier to use real places, real people, real objects, simply because collecting clues for things that actually exist is much easier than creating clues for something that you invent. But be careful not to publicize your mystery in connection with those physical places and people because you don't want to slander anyone's reputation. For example, there is a convent of St. Elizabeth, but to my knowledge, no one has ever gone missing from her walls. And you have options. Your room doesn't have to revolve around a person or even a crime. It could be that the point is simply to escape from the room or to locate a missing or valuable item. Without a doubt, the easiest way to design an escape room is to provide a scenario in which your audience gets trapped inside and this necessitates an escape. Example, let's say your audience is a team of archaeologists who have found King Tut's tomb and the door slid shut behind them. In this kind of puzzle, all you need is basic backstory. You really don't need any clues or anything else, and this shortens the process of planning your escape room. If you choose to use an item as your focal point, you typically still need the storyline and a conclusion, but you will also need some reason for your audience to want to solve this mystery. Maybe it's because the item was mentioned in a will, an ancient document. Perhaps the finder of the item has vanished or landed in the hospital, deliriously talking about finding Atlantis or the city of gold or fill in the blank. Whatever the scenario you use, you need to bring your audience into it. Maybe they are the museum curators, treasure hunters, or the most exciting thing you can think of. Just make it fun. And there you have it, a mystery for your very own escape room. Next time, in part 3, we will be talking about creating our clues. Remember, if you get stuck, just take a break and marvel at God's offer to us. The Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, nor is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated you from your God, and your sins have hidden his face from you, so he will not hear. Isaiah 59, 1-2. And that's where we were all stuck until Jesus came and opened the door for our great escape. We'll see you next time.